Welcome all Bespoke Leaguers, whether or not you are on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, doesn't matter. My name's Pleated Pants, and it's time for the 16th edition of the weekly show that we like to call Bespoke League Primetime. It is a collection of news, stats, rankings, and stuff that happens around the 5 connected franchises that I run in Madden 22. This show is in 3 parts. There is announcements, there are rankings and news, and then there is also a little thing that I call the TaylorMade Top 10. Announcements, again, none. Everyone's been there. No one's on the naughty list right now. Like, I like Cody Vols throws the ball really good, and Banks catches the ball really good with DK Metcalf. They're the only people that right now are above the baseline for Bespoke League yards, and really it's all kind of working itself out. So I think that we're all doing good. I think stats wise everything's looking okay. There hasn't been really any hubbub about any gameplays or attitudes or anything, so Bespoke League's looking really good. Thank you very much. Now, how about the news? First off, we have the Xbox One. We're down to 3 teams. The big news is the Vikings and the Packers scored 102 points collectively in a shootout at Lambeau Field yesterday, or a couple days ago, with our kids Vikings taking the win over the Packers with like what was it? It was like 50-52, like pretty nutty, because the Packers have good defense. So like pretty crazy. And then we got one more game in the AFC Championship. The Chargers, Justin Rose's Chargers, ended up beating a team that beat them in the regular season, Big Country's Jaguars. Good first season for Big Country. And then my Jets didn't give very much room for Kane's Titans to do anything. My defense was fairly suffocating, and I ended up winning that game to advance to the AFC Championship game. So that game, that AFC Championship game, Jets versus Chargers, happens tonight after primetime, and Justin gets home from work and set up. If I looked right, the Jets are a 6-point favorite. And more news. This comes from the PlayStation 4. The Bespoke League Times is saying that Miami has played well enough to get on the cover again. They clinched the AFC East. They only have 2 losses, and they still have an odds-on chance to be able to get the number 1 seed. There are 2 one-loss teams ahead of them, so they're going to have to get some help. But Miami is the hottest team in the PlayStation 4 Bespoke League. We also have a new leader on the top of the NFC West. The Fighting Lenny Fishes from Seattle had a big win over their division rival, 38-3 over the Rams. That victory put them at 9-6. More importantly, they are now 1 game ahead on top of the NFC West. They have 2 weeks to play. They control their destiny. Do the Fighting Seattle Lenny Fishes make the playoffs? And then we got that. We got a picture of the week down there, and that is the Los Angeles Superchargers sacking Tua of the Chiefs to win 27-24 in Kansas City. We got a power rankings for this one. PlayStation 4 power rankings for this week. Expert stays on the number 1 seed for everything. He's 14-0, has not lost a game. Pleated Pants almost beat him, but he didn't. Markykins and Cody Valls are one-loss teams. Markykins has taken a couple week vacation from the internet, and so he had a simulation loss, I think last week. Cody Valls continues to be disrespected by the computer, but is getting more respect now from the coaches poll after he made complaints after he dropped all the way down to like 6th or 7th after he took his first loss of the year. Then we got our 2 lost teams, Zombie Muppet and TFR. They are both 4 and 5 respectively in both polls. Mize is number 6 as our 1-3 loss team. And then Pleated and Gobias are 7 and 8 respectively, fighting for the first seed. Or fighting not for the first seed, fighting for the NFC Norris division title. PS5. As we all know, the game doesn't do the snapshots, so there's no news. Oh, Walty, no problem, man. Life happens. And I was taking a little bit of a sanity break from everything, and I wasn't doing the normal pestering. Like one simulation doesn't hurt anything. In the PS5, Cody Valls is number 1. Kilbride's number 2 in both of the polls. Pleated and Nick Z flip-flop in 3 and 4 for the Jags and the Cardinals respectively. Markykins falls into number 5 in both polls, and then Breezes, Ace, and Rakdos just flip around depending on the polls. Like I was telling people last night when I was putting these together in Discord, that there really isn't any real big head scratcher in any of the leagues until we get to the PC. And then, hold on. Xbox Series X. There's been some movement here, not at the top. Double J Train still number 1. Banks is now number 2 in both polls. Then we got a little bit of a difference in the next 3, but they just kind of all flip-flop around spots. Kitsch, Kilbride, and Ghost are the 1-loss teams, and depending on who's doing the voting, they come in different places in 3, 4, and 5. Talent, the 2-loss team is 6 in both of the power rankings. Mike is tied for 7th with Pleated in the coaches poll, and he is 8th alone in daddy leagues. Not Justin's number 6 in the computer polls, and Pleated is getting some streamer love, I think, and still is sitting in the 7th spot in the coaches poll, even though he has 4 losses. El Kabong continues to get no respect. PC, no news in the PC. Why? Because Madden on the PC is it's funny that we're listening to music that sounds like an 8-bit Nintendo, because that's how Madden plays on the PC. And so the simple thing of them taking snapshots from the games and putting them into their user interface is confusing to them because they didn't have the right teams or the right games on any of the pictures, so we just decided not to do the news. This is anyone's game. The computer gives Dunwin the #1 spot, our kid the #2 spot, even though he has 2 losses. Mento is the guy that doesn't really get any respect. He's been playing great and gets thrown in 3rd in the Daddy Leagues polls. Kilbride 4, Sadi 5th. Now, what you got to see there is someone voted T-Man Clutch #1, and it wasn't him. It wasn't him, and that was able to catapult him into tied for 3rd with a 3-7 record, shutting out Lextron at 4-6 from getting into the top 8. So that's the news of the big news of the day. And no, it wasn't that someone was flipping him around backwards. They did not pull a not Justin, but T-Man getting they're expecting something from him. They're expecting more from him. That could happen, El Capong. Could happen. All right, so we're done with the news. We're done with the power rankings. Now we move over to a little something that I call the TaylorMade Top 10. You can always find this on YouTube, on the Bespoke Football League webpage, or the site. Let me drill in. Hey YouTube, it's Pleated Pants here for another TaylorMade Top 10. Hope you enjoy the great plays this week. If you enjoy this series, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment, come join us on a stream or join us in the Discord. We'd love to have you, but let's go on and watch some football. Lenny Fish demanded more special team content in the top 10s. Well, he put his money where his mouth is and got the only block I've ever seen in Madden 22. One special teams play deserves another. Here's Cody Valls taking a kickoff all the way to the house.
I knew that was going to happen. I was like, there's this effing glitch that happens every once in a while, and it's going to happen. Super accurate.
The most devastating move in Bespoke Football League is the high point pass in the end zone.
Clip it. Clip it.
Terrible pass by Herbert, but great catch by Hooper.
What a catch.
So now it's time to start deviating. If you don't have Acrobat on your defensive backs, you're doing it wrong. Shake up Mento a little bit. Marlon Humphrey, perfect timing user pick with Acrobat. Boom!
You put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick
It's
up
Green Bay.
downs, and you
It's the
tend to stall out
playoffs.
when you do that.
It's a snow game. Everyone's slow, but Jonathan Taylor. Whoop. Taking it to the house.
Absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers.
didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal
Don't
shut
run
it down for 2
PA
yards
crossers
away. That's
on
when you start to feel good
market.
about it.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
I was thinking about doing it as a joke. And then why is it every time? Every freaking time. Well, this was your annual pleated pants microphone muted after he comes back from the TaylorMade Top Tens. Basically what I said is like, subscribe, comment, do all those things, help the algorithm, help the Bespoke Football League, and maybe, just maybe, I'm going to put a sticky note on the camera tomorrow that says, unmute pleated pants. I love you all. This concludes the 16th edition of Bespoke League Primetime, and maybe, just maybe, I will go one full primetime without having a microphone mess up.